I must admit, I felt for a brief moment like a liturgical nerd. The only thing missing was the equivalent of a pocket protector, and I haven't figured out what that might be. But I do care about such things. That's one of the reasons I was so thrilled when I first saw a picture of this space where the people of Massanutten gather for worship. I remember telling the committee during the phone interview when we were talking that I was thrilled to see a congregation that had its liturgical house in order. After shopping, we grabbed a quick cup of coffee at the Daily Grind before heading to the movies. It was a chance for a quiet escape from a terribly busy season. Well, I suggested we go see Christmas with the Cranks. But Elaine said, I live that. You're cranky enough this time of year already. So let's take a journey together. Will you go? Come on, let's just walk for a minute. We'll see where we'll just make parents nervous today, okay? Well, I know it will come as a total shock to some of you, but occasionally I will say something that gets me in trouble. Sometimes it happens innocently, like the great story I could tell from home had I had permission to do so. Other times it's happened a bit less innocently, such as the time I suggested that a certain hymn wasn't worth singing because it had questionable theology and a poor tune that you couldn't sing, only to learn that half the people in the room that day counted it as their favorite. Other times it's quite deliberate, such as the many times when I have pointed out the superiority of America's team to the team from the nation's capital. Whatever it is, you can get it here, including a leftover Brussels sprout. Well, according to a magazine article that was printed in early January, there are also something else cropping up on eBay: unwanted Christmas gifts. It seems that eBay has become the perfect dumping ground for less than desirable gifts. No longer do people think about re-gifting when they get something they don't want for Christmas. Now they dump them online. It seems, I guess, that what were a few weeks ago the must-have Christmas gifts have become the leftover Brussels sprout of today. Now, I was always the well-behaved camper. I did what I was told, and I was where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there. And it really wasn't that I was such a good kid, but my pastor was there, and several adults from my church were there, and I knew that my folks would get the full report on my behavior for the week. So I was dutiful through and through, which meant that if dinner was to be served at 5:30, I was in line by 5:15. If not the first one there, certainly among the first 5. Well, about the third night of that week, the camp director stood before the group. We had just finished singing about the birds in the wilderness, and someone had just offered the prayer of thanks, and the director announced, "Tonight we're going to eat kingdom style." Now, I didn't know what that meant, but it sounded pretty good to me. But then he continued, "Jesus said that in the kingdom, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first." Can we move forward from this place, committed to not give evil the second victory? Can we discover how God is working for redemption, even in this evil that God did not will or intend? So go forth in peace, and may God's grace surround you and keep you this day and evermore.